He intended to kill, and according to his actions and his home videos, he had no intentions to stop. His intent was to massacre the students at Freeman High School. I can still see students running to their parents and leaping in their arms like toddlers, rocking and crying.
Our beautiful campus became a crime scene, complete with yellow tape and lots of law enforcement.
Powerful messages and stories from those impacted by the Freeman High School shooting.
It has been more than 4 years since the Freeman community was changed forever. Today, the victims and survivors shared their stories in court for the very first time.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here for Crime 2 News First at 4. I'm Whitney Ward.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Tom is off this week. We have team coverage this evening to share the stories told in court today.
So we begin right now with Kyle Simchuk, who was in court today. And Kyle, what can you tell us just about this first day of those victim impact statements?
Well, yeah, Mark and Whitney, like you said, this is the first time since the shooting these victims have been able to speak directly to Caleb Sharp and the judge sentencing him. The terror they experienced back then and still to this day. Prosecutors say roughly 150 victims plan to speak in court or have asked for their testimony to be read. Today, we heard from students, teachers, grandparents, and school counselors who say they're still haunted by the shooting and suffer from PTSD and anxiety. Teachers and students talked about hiding in dark classrooms, not knowing if they would make it out alive. Their statements were read in court by victim advocates.
There were very few discussions over the shooting except how dark, quiet, and still the school became momentarily. These students feared for their lives, hiding, hoping Caleb Sharp would not find them. It is the most surreal and haunting feeling in the world to know that death is down the hall and coming. I was convinced that we were going to die.
Okay, Mr. Pace, thank you.
And later on in the afternoon, we heard testimony from the school's janitor. He actually disarmed Sharp and pinned him to the ground before deputies arrived. We'll bring you his dramatic story tonight at 5. So again, about 150 people signed up to either speak or have their testimony heard. So it's going to take likely about 2 weeks before Sharp is even sentenced. They want to have all those victims give them a chance to speak.
Kyle, I'm curious about Sharp specifically. He was in court today. What was his reaction as these victim impact statements were being read?
It's kind of hard to tell what he was thinking, what's going on in his mind. We just saw him. He was basically just staring at the table in front of him. A few people did jump on Zoom to give their testimony. He did look over at the wall, or the TV on the wall over there, but the rest of the time just staring down at the table.
Saw a lot of that on that video. Kyle, before you go, we are hearing also a lot, several of these statements have also touched about the sentence for this shooter. A lot of people pretty much unilaterally asking for a longer sentence for him.
Absolutely. There was a state law that was changed a few years ago. Since he was a juvenile at the time, he could get a life sentence, but there has to be the possibility of parole. So a lot of people, basically everyone we heard speak today, were asking for a life sentence. They don't want to see him out.
Interesting. All right, Kyle, thank you very much.